Wimbledon is in full swing, and it's been an incredible week at SW19 with some spectacular matches. And now, we've just got the most exciting matchup of the tournament so far: Stefanos Tsitsipas and Nick Kyrgios in the third round. It doesn't get any better than this. In today's video, we're talking about this blockbuster clash, so sit back and relax while we tell you all about it. First off, Tsitsipas sets blockbuster Kyrgios clash. On 30th June, Stefanos Tsitsipas cruised past Jordan Thompson in straight sets to reach the third round at Wimbledon for the second time in his career. He was going to face Nick Kyrgios, easily his toughest opponent in the tournament. In his second round match, the Greek looked solid and in control of his game. After the match, Steph said that he played a great game and the love from the crowd really pushed him. He talked about how much better he was feeling compared to last year when he wasn't involved with movement behind the ball. He said that he was happy with the level of tennis that he was playing. His victory over Thompson was his 8th win on grass this season, which was good news for him, as he had just won 8 tour-level matches on the surface before 2022. Only last week, the 23-year-old won his first grass court title in Mallorca, and he seemed to be doing well at Wimbledon too. But then, he met Nick Kyrgios. Entering this game, Nick Kyrgios was leading the head-to-head 3-1 against Tsitsipas. The most recent win for Nick came only a few weeks ago at Halle, where he won in 3 sets. The Aussie beat Filip Krajinovic in straight sets to progress to the third round at Wimbledon. Before the match, Steph said that it was going to be a challenging game for him because Nick was a big opponent on this surface. He said that he can really fight when he wants to, and yeah, that pretty much sums up Nick Kyrgios. He lost the first set in the tiebreak, but then recovered early in the second to win the match in 4 sets. His audacious hits, underarm serves, and incredible returns were no match for the 4th seed. And of course, the game wasn't without any drama. No Nick Kyrgios match is. It featured code violations, a point penalty, and many arguments with match officials. So, what happened during the game? A better question would be, what didn't happen during this game? In the first set, Nick was serving almost flawlessly with just dropping 4 points on his serve. Steph barely edged past him in the tiebreak, and of course, that left Nick reeling. He demanded that a new line judge come out after one bad call and seemed to be complaining to the crowd about another match official before serving. Nick was very vocal throughout the game. Within the first hour, he received a warning for swearing by the umpire, and he responded with a magnificent winner, which led to Steph angrily hitting the ball into the stands. That reaction landed him a penalty too, but that wasn't enough for his opponent. He asked why he wasn't disqualified. He repeatedly asked the chair umpire, "Are you dumb?" and then asked for the supervisor to come out. He said he wasn't going to continue playing until he got to the bottom of this. While Nick argued with the officials, Steph took a bathroom break, as he often does when he's not in a winning position, and came out to complain about the positioning of the towels. A short while later, the two resumed playing and Steph completely lost his cool when Kyrgios held with another underarm serve and received a point deduction. The Aussie landed a drop shot on the top of the net that fell to the other side and took the third set. He bowed to the crowd as we headed into a fourth. We were taken to another tiebreak that Nick finished again with a drop shot. The match was over. His celebration was electric and the handshake at the net was quick. Nick Kyrgios was into the second week of Wimbledon. The 4th seed was out. But wait, it didn't just end there. In his on-court interview, Nick said that he had great respect for his opponent. He said that he loved him and he was close with his brother too, and that Steph was a hell of a player. However, Steph was feeling very differently after the match, perhaps understandably so. In his post-match press conference, Steph called Nick a bully. He said that there's constant bullying on the court when Nick is playing. He went on to say that he bullies his opponents as well as the match officials. He even said that he was probably a bully at school. The Greek said that he didn't like people like that. He stated that Nick had some good traits too, but there was an evil side to him which was really bad for people around him. In response, Nick asked when he bullied his opponent. He said that he wasn't the one hitting spectators or throwing balls out of the stadium or drilling him with balls. He said he showed no anger towards Steph during the game, and if that's what was holding him back from getting a result, then maybe he was just soft. Steph even said that players needed to get together and do something about this kind of behavior, which he considered disrespectful to the game. He stated that Nick was manipulating opponents and distracting them, and everybody should come together to make the sport cleaner. To that, Nick said that he was very well liked in the locker room, and Steph wasn't. He also said that Steph was probably angry because he lost to him twice in 2 weeks. He commented that he would be too. Then he said that maybe Steph should figure out how to beat him first before talking about anything else. We have to say, that was one interesting clash. Not only did we get to see some outrageously good tennis, but we also got a whole lot more. Is it a good thing? Absolutely not. Both Nick Kyrgios and Steph Tsitsipas need to get a better hold of their emotions. There's no reason they should be hitting balls into the crowd or arguing with the umpire every game, and we really hope the two fix things between themselves as well. And that's all about the blockbuster Tsitsipas and Kyrgios clash in the third round of Wimbledon. Now, let's move on to some other related news. Firstly, Iga Swiatek's winning streak comes to an end. Iga Swiatek has been in perfect form these past few months. It didn't seem like anybody anybody could stop her, but that's exactly what Alizé Cornet did. The world number one lost in straight sets, and it ended her 37-match winning streak. This run went on for 132 days. It was built in countries on 3 continents, and it didn't seem like it was going to end anytime soon, and Alizé felt the same way. She praised Iga for all that she's done this year and said it was out of this world. She also expressed her disbelief at breaking her streak, and it was a great win, although we're sure Iga's only going to come back stronger. Also, Coco Gauff crashes out in the 3rd round at Wimbledon. On the same day, both finalists of the French Open crashed out of Wimbledon. Coco Gauff lost in 3 to Amanda Anisimova on center court. After reaching the 4th round at Wimbledon in 2019 at just the age of 15, Coco has been one of the most exciting people to watch on tour, and fans just can't get enough of her. And so, naturally, this loss came as a bit of a disappointment for everybody. However, Coco herself wasn't too fussed. She said she'd grown a lot in her mentality this season. She talked about how she could see improvements in her performance. She said she couldn't have imagined being in this position and that there were only positives to take from this. Coco Gauff's got a bright future ahead of her, and we love to see it. And finally, 100 years of center court. On 3rd June, Wimbledon celebrated the 100th year of center court with a huge ceremony before the start of play that day. Veteran tennis broadcasters Sue Barker, John McEnroe, and Claire Balding had a look back at some of the most iconic moments from the past with Wimbledon champions. Sir Cliff Richard serenaded the center court crowd, which had 1,500 refugees in attendance from Syria, Afghanistan, and Ukraine. Freya Ridings also performed live in front of the crowd. Former champions were also invited, which included Andy Murray, Margaret Court, Billie Jean King, Bjorn Borg, and Venus Williams. The 8-time Wimbledon champion Roger Federer was also in attendance as he got the biggest cheer of the day. Fans were absolutely delighted to see the Swiss maestro. It's the first time in 23 years that Federer isn't participating in the tournament as he's recovering from a knee injury. He spoke to the crowd and said that he was happy to be there and talked about how the center court had given him his biggest wins as well as his biggest losses. He also said that he hopes he can come back one more time. We really hope so too, Roger. That's a wrap for this video. What did you guys think about the Tsitsipas-Kyrgios clash? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.